Hey all, James Nielsen here. Today's video will be fairly short, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of advice for your peer review. Brandon Brock already has told us some important things about peer review. If you've forgotten those things, you might want to go watch that video again. Importantly, you want to make sure that you're using the jargon from our chapters, of course. But this video is just a little bit about how to peer review or how to critique someone else's work. And we're going to look at a couple of guides that I'll have here. This PDF will be available to you guys on our Moodle, likely underneath this video. And then we have a couple of articles. If you're interested, you can look at these further. Let's see, that's the same one. Here we go. And it's around the idea of emotional intelligence. And so if you struggle to critique other people's work, if you struggle to work in a group, and these are common things that many people struggle with, it might be a sign that you have low emotional intelligence. Okay, and so part of our goal here with this course is getting you to work a little bit collaboratively. Um, Especially with these peer reviews. This is an important skill that you guys will need to use for the rest of your life. And, so many students think that they don't have to work collaboratively when they graduate and, they don't like group work, but really your whole life, you're going to be working collaboratively. And I'm not going to go into the science of emotional intelligence here. These are for you if you're interested in looking at this. They have a lot of great information about constructively confronting someone, speaking up to be heard in a group, things like that. But we have some really easy to understand guides here. And so obviously, when you start your peer review, you want to make sure that, going through your peer review, you want to make sure that everyone has a chance to speak. And you want to keep it professional, right? We're not insulting, we're not over exaggerating, and we're using qualifiers like I think, or to me it seems, because with a peer review, it is just your opinion. Oftentimes that's based off of our readings or the things that you've read or understood, but it's still your opinion, right? Um, and so, we don't want to be absolutist. There's no way, right? It's a sure thing. You have to delete this. This must be a different color. And instead, we want to use more diplomatic language. We want to use I, or it seems to me, right? Um, and we don't need to be so emotionally attached to these ideas. We need to be okay with hearing other people's opinions and also giving our opinion, right? Um, and so you can go through those. But really, the main ones I want to get to is right here, critiquing work. So it's often great to start with a positive comment. Um, and this isn't just to make them feel better, but we want to also make it feel like it's a safe space, right? Where people can share their ideas. And it's just nice to hear what things we're doing well. Because likely, in very, very rare instances, there will be nothing good. But in 99.9% of assignments, you can find some positive things that they have done with the assignment. And so it's great to start off with some positive stuff. And so sometimes, what I'll do in my own peer reviews is I'll say, let's start with the positive, and then we'll go through all of that. And then after that, if someone tries to bring in a negative thing, you can say like, hey, let's wait. We're still talking about the positive. And then you can go into the stuff that they're maybe not doing as well. Okay. And you want to focus on larger issues at first. So talking about like, oh, you missed a period here, or, this color is slightly off, those are maybe not as important. You want to instead look at the bigger issues first and then work your way to smaller things if you still have time. One really big thing to be aware of, and this is maybe one of the best pieces of advice this chapter here gives, is you're not critiquing the person. right? You're critiquing the work. And so there's ways in which you can communicate that, because we are not our work, right? Just because you maybe submitted an assignment that doesn't look very good, that doesn't mean that you're not very good at that, right? It just means that you didn't put enough time in it. Maybe you did it at the last minute. Maybe you misunderstood some part of the assignment, or maybe you misunderstood some concept. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't produce something good. And so we're not critiquing the writer. And so a rude example would be, you don't explain clearly why this criterion is relevant, right? We're putting it on them. You don't do this, right? You're wrong. And then a better way would just be talking about the criterion itself and the document itself. And so you could say, just like, I'm having trouble with this. And so again, another example, why didn't you include the price comparison here? Like, as you said you would. It's very accusatory and very direct to them. And again, it's kind of attacking their character a little bit. Whereas if we look at this one, I wonder if the report would be stronger if we included the price comparisons here. Or you could say, I think it could be stronger if we included the price comparison here. So, you don't always have to say it in the most polite way, but you just want to make sure that you're not addressing the person themselves necessarily when you're critiquing. And so, you can talk about how, like, oh, I like the colors on this part right here, but I actually think that it would look better if we used a slightly darker color over here. Or, you have some nice contrast. Oh, I said you. So let me fix that. There's some nice contrast on the second page of your document, but I think you could maybe, or I think that there could be better chunking. So I need to work on this too. I keep on saying you. And so you just want to think about how you speak in that way. And what this does is this allows people to be more open-minded for criticism of their document, and they feel less attacked. And then when you have that space, that feels a little bit safer to discuss these things, because we're not being attacked. We're just analyzing this document that's imperfect, like all the documents we create. And you're able to then have better conversations. You're able to open up more. Students who are maybe a little bit more shy are able to open up more and offer, criticisms, as well as listen to the criticisms, and make sure that everyone in your groups are offering both positive comments to begin with, as well as helpful criticisms to the document. So I'll leave this PDF for you guys if you want to dive through it and read it through verbatim or word for word here. And then we'll also leave up these links to emotional intelligence. Again, if it's something that you feel like maybe you struggle with, this could be something to look at. It definitely will help you work better in groups together. All right, thanks, guys.